Today's video is all about trees that could kill you, especially if you're camping under them or walking under them in high winds. So this one here is an oak that's come down in a southwesterly wind, and as you can see behind, the root plate is totally up, and I'm going to just walk you around the other side in a sec and show you the hole it's made. Check out this root plate. It's been ripped right out of the ground. So yeah, as we crack on today, we're heading through the woods up multiple paths. It's going to be about a 12 miler, and yeah, basically going to be looking for signs of trees that can kill you. So things like bracket fungus growing on the trees, widowmakers, that sort of thing. And the furthest point of the video, we're going to seek out a fighter jet, an actual real fighter jet. So stay tuned for that, and then we'll be heading back as fast as we can, try and get back before dark. I thought we'd come and check on this leafy brain fungus. It's starting to break down there. It's going all slimy, not much of a leafy brain anymore, more just like a splattered brain. But yes, on this conifer that's come down, or oak actually. Yeah, it looks like a tall oak that's come down. Let's have a look. Yeah, it's an oak. Right, I'll bring you back when we find something interesting. Let's go that way. It's a race against time today, so we're going to crack on through these woods pretty quickly. We need to get out of here, cross a couple of streams, and yeah, we just, well, I'm soaking already just from going through these conifers. But right, let's head on. Just have a quick stop to check out the wolf of the woods. There he is, what a beauty. Majestic in his old age. I've flown my drone around and up over that a few times in previous videos. So if I remember, I'll link to that on the screen. But yeah, let's crack on. Let's get out of these woods. So easy to slip over. We need to find the bridge and cross over that first. Here's an ash tree in this valley that's come down. It's so soggy in here and waterlogged. And also the wind will rip through it. But ash trees, yeah, don't camp anywhere near ash trees. They really can't be trusted. Literal death traps. And here's a bridge. Don't normally head out this way, but today we are. So I'm going to send Autumn over. Go on, up. Wait. Sit. Oh, there's the walkie-talkie that I left in one of my other videos. I'll link to that on the screen if I remember. Otherwise, I'll put it in the comments. Oh, she's just having fun now, just showing off. Let's put you back on your lead. I'll bring you back in a bit. So as we're passing this, I thought I might as well show you somewhere safe to camp in high winds. So here you can see this has been recently planted you should be able to find somewhere between the gaps of these, in the gaps of these trees. Just stay away from the conifers there in the distance, because if the wind picks up, because they're on the edge, especially that tall one, it's likely to come down. But also scout around the edges of this opening, make sure there's no deer chutes, look for any hides. They're basically steps leading up to a hide. So yeah, that's one thing to watch for. Look out for salt licks as well. If you see a salt lick, there's a good chance that they're going to be using that area to shoot deer, to cull deer. Right, let's crack on, see what else we can find. Just taking a bit of a detour because I wanted to show you one of these deer chutes, because yeah, it's quite important that if you're camping out in the woods that you know what one of these is. I've shown them in my previous videos, but there we are. Easy to spot. Always got a ladder. And I don't think this one's used. For a start, there's a tree right in front of it, and normally they make a clearing directly in front, so they've got a good sight of the deer. And the reason they hide up in those is just so they're shooting down into the ground rather than straight across through the woods, crossing paths and roads, because those high-powered rifles, yeah, their bullets really do travel quite some distance. Yeah, let's crack on, get back on our route and see what else we can find. Bit of an issue, Autumn. We have to cross that. Don't really want wet feet this early on, but yeah, we'll do it. It's a little bit narrower down here. I reckon we can leap across. Autumn certainly can. Yep, easy. Let's crack on. Here's another example of a chute. We didn't need to make that detour after all, but this one is used by the looks of it because, like I said earlier, they make a clearing, and there's a clearing. They've got direct shot, easy to see the deer, less chance of missing and then or hitting the wrong part of the deer and it wandering off and suffering. One clean shot and it's cold. Check out the resin from where this pine's been cut. It's really sticky. Look at that. Like glue. And it would have been used as glue back in the day, no doubt. I suppose it still comes in handy for bushcraft in this day and age. Right, I'll bring you back in a bit. I think we'll go around this one. Don't fancy walking under that. We'll just head round the edge. Yeah, that'd hurt if that fell on you. You can see the false turkey tail starting to break that down. Pretty cool. Some other fungus as well. Don't know if this camera will pick that up. It's quite small, the white dots. We're just going to do a quick detour down this path behind me over this bridge, and we're going to go check on the river and see if the main bridge is still there, because we have had so much flooding. It's quite an old rotten bridge. So yeah, I'll bring you back in a bit. Oh dear, Autumn, what do you reckon? So, yep, as I thought, because of all the flooding, check this out. We're only going to take a few steps onto this bridge. Don't want to end up in a drink. Down there somewhere. But yeah, you can see that the river has burst its bank and washed a load of branches down, a load of deadfall, and taken out these panels. It does look safe to cross if we were going that way, jump across there, although it will be slippery, but yeah, it's pretty safe, I reckon. Yeah, you can see the amount of deadfall that's ended up in the river. Yeah, we need to crack on. We've made good time actually, but we'll still be heading back in the dark, no doubt, but hopefully only an hour or so. So yeah, we're heading back up the path, pick up our route. I'll bring you back in a bit. Come! Let's just be still and have a listen for a moment. Just the leaf blower in the distance and the rain dripping out of the trees in autumn. Having a little wine. Right, let's crack on. And here comes an aeroplane. Who remembers the countryside before leaf blowers and aeroplanes? Well, actually, I'm not old enough to remember the countryside before aeroplanes, but there was certainly a lot less of them. You only get about a minute of tranquility before one passes. But other than that, you've got to love the countryside. Before we head up this path, let's do a bit of minor trespassing. Because I've spotted a tree that's come down. Let's go investigate. I'll bring you back when we're there. Yeah, this is windfall. You can see its root plate come right up there. It's actually an ash tree. But look at all that lichen that's growing on it. That would have caught the wind. And also, where a lot of the trees have been felled in this valley, this would have stood alone. And it usually would have been protected by the crowns of all the other trees. But yeah, it's come down, and also this silver birch has come with it. Really pretty valley this. I'm loving the hues, the winter hues. Lovely. Hang on a minute. This doesn't belong here. What is that? See if we can get a better view. Yeah, that's not native to Surrey. Here's a good example of a widowmaker. If you look just here on this oak, we've got this very damp overhanging limb. Looks very heavy, and this one has already fallen from just that junction there. So yeah, it's an example of something you don't want to camp under. It's pretty obvious. It doesn't take a brain surgeon to work that out. Just don't camp under big heavy branches, especially in storms. And also in the summer, if it's like really dry, it's been really dry, the trees struggle and they just drop their limbs for no reason other than that. So you don't even need high winds. If the tree's struggling, they can drop limbs. On here you can see some false turkey tail starting to grow. Break this bit down. So yeah, that's a perfect example really of a widowmaker. And there's even more further up. We're currently walking down a disused canal. I've never seen it this full of water before. So it just goes to show how much rain we've had. Yeah, it's quite nice, especially in autumn. Really pretty colours. Yeah, we're about 1.5 miles, 2 miles away from the jet. That should be interesting once we get there. I've never actually seen it up close, so I'm a little bit excited actually. As excited as I get. I'm not really an excited sort of person. But yeah, I'll bring you back in a bit. We made it to the fighter jet. Check it out. Let's have a quick walk around it. Yeah, quick walk around, and then we need to head back and try and get back before dark. Royal Navy, I'm not sure what type it is, obviously it's quite an old one, very old. Single engine. It's pretty cool. Yeah, you don't see one of these every day on your dog walk, unless you live here. Yeah, I'll bring you back in a bit. I say it in all my videos, but don't camp under trees with ivy growing up it. That's what happens. The ivy itself doesn't kill the tree, but it can block out sunlight, which will weaken the tree. But the main problem is it acts like a sail in the wind, especially when it's wet, gets heavy, the wind catches it, and then it just pulls the tree down. We've got this oak here as well, which is destined to come down at some point. Hopefully not now. Hopefully it'll wait a bit. But yeah. If you see ivy growing up a tree, seriously consider not camping under it or near it. People who saw my video, I think a couple of videos ago, recognise the orange algae that's growing on these pines. Like I said in that video, it's not detrimental to the tree, it's just because the tree's exposed. Hey, what's the matter? So yeah, that is orange algae. Check out the light on this. What do you reckon, Autumn? No, you're supposed to be looking at the light. Look at the light, Autumn. Look at the light. She don't care, does she? Got a couple of hours left of daylight, so the sun is nice and low. Perfect for this shot here. Yeah, I think we're going to make it back before it gets dark. It's going to be close anyway. I'll see you in a bit. Here's a sweet chestnut. You definitely wouldn't camp under. That is just, yeah, obvious. That limb's going to come down at some point. I was starting to think we weren't going to find a bracket fungus, but here's a young one here growing on this silver birch. It's pretty cool. Nice and rubbery when they're young, and as they get older they go pretty much rock hard. But yeah, don't, hang on, come here, sit down, sit, stay. I'm trying to make a video here. Right, wait. Yeah, I was just going to say, yeah, don't camp under a tree with these on. Very good chance that the tree is dying and the bracket fungus is breaking it down. Yeah, it's quite cool, that one. Literally, we walked 10 miles today so far, and this is the first one I've seen. Are you impatient? Are you? Are you spinning? Spin. You go. Okay, I'll throw it for you. Wait. You get it in the stream. You need a good clean off. I caught it before I got before it got to it. Right. Anyway, we've got to crack on. Losing light. It doesn't really show on the camera, but it's very dull. Very dull indeed. Just over the bridge we go. Bit of an issue, but nothing too drastic. I'm going to record it anyway, just in case I slip in. That should be quite entertaining for you. We'll see. Over we go. That log there looks absolutely lethal. There's no way I'm standing on that. Who even put that there? Why would you put that like that? That's literally a trick. It's probably a trail cam somewhere. I'm going to step onto that branch and then maybe the corner of that log. We'll see what's going to happen. Might end up in that holly bush. No, that's okay. Went to plan. We live to tell another tale. On with the mud. We're almost back at camp, and yeah, still a little bit of light. Don't need a torch, and the camera is probably showing it quite realistically at the moment. But yeah, come across this beech tree right in the middle of the woods here, and it's still quite a small one, but you've got this overhanging branch here. And you really wouldn't want to camp under that, because that could give way, especially in the summer. They can give way at any time. They have a habit of dropping limbs. So yeah, you don't even need high wind, they can just drop a limb. But I just thought I'd show you that. It's quite near the camp. And it's not a bad little spot other than that. You can probably camp the other side of it actually. Let's have a look. The ground's not very even. Yeah, there's a few limbs up there that might come down, especially as it's surrounded by these conifers. They block out the light, and it doesn't do this tree any favours, because obviously it needs sunlight to grow properly, to be healthy. But yeah, I'll bring you back when we're in camp. You might get a nice sunset actually, a little bit of colour in the sky. Mission accomplished. We got back before dark, so that was nice, makes a nice change. And yeah, probably about half an hour after sunset now. And Autumn is in her bed there. Are you tired? Yeah? Yeah, look at her, she's absolutely knackered. We've been out all day, haven't we? Trenching through the mud. Yeah. So yeah, it's been a good day, pretty much. Mission accomplished. We saw some quite dangerous trees. We could have probably found more if we'd gone directly through the woods rather than sticking to paths. But yeah, we will do some more videos with dangerous trees in, no doubt. But I think that's about it for now. I recorded a video last night of cooking some burgers. They were really nice. I got them from the butchers. So I'm going to link to that in the pinned comment. So check that out. It's just a short video. Yeah, so I'll see you on the next one. Thanks for watching.